Okay, so I am here in Modo, see if I can break the software because that's what it seems to do routinely. Forgive my snarkiness, this is a bit ridiculous. So I've got a ring here made with mesh fusion, maybe that's the problem. Oh look, Modo has randomly changed my config yet again. Because I'm not, and the way I know that is because I don't care for the stupid trackball rotation. That is alien to me. Okay, so Modo being hokey, busy being hokey as always. Nothing new there. Okay, so got just this one file open. It's a ring. I've made it with Mesh Fusion. Perhaps that's the problem. I don't know because Mesh Fusion is routinely messing with my soul about how it operates. Anyways, that's a whole other video. So the problem I'm having here is exporting files as STLs. So this is just a static mesh. It's like a exported mesh out of Mesh Fusion. So it's just a mesh. There should be nothing affecting the scale. Over here on the scale area, in item mode, it's all 100%. In polygon mode, everything's 100%, not rotated. We should be good here. So coming into front view, and that's on this ring export layer here. So if we go to View, Ruler Tool, and we get stuck on snapping on things because it's Modo. That is rocket science for some reason, only on vertex. That's all I'm trying to snap to here. Let's snap there. And we're going to snap here. To explain the issues, I'm trying to export this and then checking the size in Rhino, and it's not the same. So I don't know which one's lying to me. I assume it's Modo. Because Rhino seems to be a little more stable on dimensional things. So the measurement here is 21.08 millimeters, which is the correct size, size 11.5 that I'm trying to export this ring as. So if I can unview my ruler tool. So we know that this, in Modo land at least, is the correct size. If we go into the preferences here, step 1 is units. My scene should be in millimeters. Good, which it is. That makes sense. The other thing I learned the other day from another friend of mine, actually the same friend that's helped me fix other issues, is that I was having an export issue once upon a time to STL because this is a setting for some reason I may be modeling in millimeters, but fuck it, screw it. I may want to export as centimeters, meters, or inches or something. I guess that makes sense as a function, like that may be valuable for someone's workflow, but I think what makes the most sense, logically, is that you would assume that whatever units you're working in, if you exported anything or saved anything or whatever, this would automatically match this. Yet somehow it doesn't. That doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but I'm not a developer. So, dear developers, please put a checkbox in, maybe here, or under here where it says, make export units same as this? Yes, because that's, I think, what logically people are expecting to happen versus this magically being at some other setting. Just some free advice to avoid frustrated users such as myself. Now, so this should export at the right size based on what we just talked about. So if I right click and export selected layers, there's just the one selected layer, export it as an STL. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in, today's folder. I'm going to call it SZ. This is which one is this? The 11.5. Okay, we'll say save. I'll give that a minute. Oh, I wish I had another file open to show you the other trick that Modo plays on when you export things. That should be fixed, but that's another video. Fine. So that's the SZ11.5 file. So now I'm going to hide that and show a smaller cylinder. And these are just cylinders in space with a bunch of sides that are not subdivided that I sized previously. So if I take this ring export layer, go into polygon mode, press the R key to scale it down, and I'm going to scale from the origin since that's where the center of my circle is and the center of the finger hole is. I'm going to drag, snapping is mysteriously still on. Let's try it again. center origin. Okay. So why this isn't smoother, I don't know. My Mac isn't like the newest in the world, but it seems like it should be a little smoother than that, in my opinion. Whatever, let's get this real close. Let's try 9.5. Pretty close. I'm going to call that the same. It's not, it's a little bigger, but that's fine for what I'm doing. So, okay. So now, you know that this ring is now a size 7 based on the cylinder that it pretty much matches. So, I'm going to pick this layer, right click. I'm going to export selected layers as an STL. Okay. I will call it SC7. Save. Give that a minute. And pinwheel of death. Okay, so then the other thing I'm going to do is turn on both of these cylinders, select both of those layers, and export them just as, I'm just going to call CYL, and save those as STL files, which goes super fast. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to make a new Finder window, and just get rid of those old files, which are here. So that would be cylinders, and the ones that are fully spelled out. Okay, because these are just the ones that we just exported right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to Rhino. So file is just a blank file. File, import. And, oops. So in this folder, I'm going to import, let's do 11.5 first. Import. STL model units, millimeters. Okay, cool. So this may take a second. It's a lot of polygons for Rhino to figure out. So go to the right view, and we're going to measure some distances from vertices. There's one little vertex right in there. And shift, go to this one. Oh, sorry, it's dimension. So, and it's 26.14. Now, if we go back, here, let's do right. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to pick this stuff and put it on this layer. Okay, and we'll call this layer 11.5. Okay, and then we're going to do import, and then I'm going to pick the size 7. Cool. Give that a second to drop in. Okay, so relatively these are the right size relative to one another, so that's good at least. But I know that, but I'm about to demonstrate that they're for sure the wrong size. So I work on this layer, and I'm going to do the same little dimension from that vert over to that one little buddy right there. Okay, so that's measuring 21.53, and I also know that that's for sure the wrong size. So, okay, so I'm just going to leave that. So we have evidence here that of what these sizes are. So if we go back to Modo, and we turn, well, we can either turn the ring back on and measure it, or whatever, but either way, so this is the size 7 and the export mesh at that size. And if we go in and view ruler here, and we drag this slowly over to here, my snapping is on to vertex, yet it's not snapping to vertices. Brilliant. Modo, driving me nuts. Drag this over. Yeah, it's not even, maybe do I need to be in polygon mode for that to snap to verts or something? Who knows? Okay, so I'm really looking more at the cylinder than anything, but because it's not exactly perfect, but it's, say, 17.3. Okay, so 17.3 is the size of that cylinder. So real quick, let me go back to Rhino. Actually, I forgot to import the cylinders. Sorry about that. So cyl, open, port. So now, So you can see here, those are the two cylinders. They're not even the right size. Like they are relative to one another, but they're not the right size relative to the things I just exported from the same file. So that's a problem. Move objects to layer. So call this smart L. We'll call this size 7. And oops. We'll call this one size 7 as well. Size 11 rather. Gosh. 11.5. Okay. So we have evidence here that Modo seems to have no clue what it's doing when it's exporting things. That's what this tells me. And I tend to trust Rhino's units over Modo's because I've been using Rhino for like a decade and Modo on and off for a decade, more off than on. So, so this is frustrating to me because now I don't trust Modo's export yet again. No idea what the issue is. Again, this is all 0. I literally don't know where else to look or what. If there's something hiding in here that I need to get, I don't know. But all I know is this doesn't work, which means and if I have to go to Rhino every time to resize things, fine. But let's not pretend that for whatever reason that Modo is working properly, because it's very clearly not, based on opening these files in other programs, which is causing me problems, which is costing me money, and that's a problem. So. If anybody knows why this is happening, please let me know. Glad there's no one here for me to yell at, because I'd be doing it if there was. That is for sure. Because this, in my mind, should definitely not be happening. And just to turn on that size 11, just to double check sizing here. Just drag this guy over. Again, I've got snapping turned on and vertex. And it's for sure not snapping to the vertex, so not real sure what that's about, but I'm just going to live with it. Modo snapping has been non-functional until several releases ago anyway, so I guess I don't have much to complain about. So yeah, so this should be about 21 and change, so 21.08 is fine, or a believable number, so that's what the larger size 11 should be. But if we go back to Rhino, those cylinders real quick. The larger one is 26.14, so that ain't right. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for giving me another problem to solve, I guess, Modo. Drive me nuts. Hope someone can help. Thanks. Bye.